Hey, what's up, everybody? Daniel here. So I wanted to take a minute on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Thought I'd, come out here and talk to you guys about something that I commonly get asked quite a bit, and that is, what do I mean when I say trap the trigger? Well, trapping the trigger is a wide variety of applications. Right? I mean, some people think that it means trapping it to the rear until you hear the reset and it clicks. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. When I say trapping the trigger, I'm talking about taking the side-to-side sway that your factory trigger has, taking that away so that it gives you a more smooth, consistent, straight-to-the-rear trigger press. Okay? Let me demonstrate. Obviously, I'm going to use Glock 17. Empty, okay? Empty gun. So when I say trap the trigger, I'm referring to going to the crease right below the pad of my finger, and I am simply going to roll it around, okay, and rest it high and tight on the crease of my finger. Okay. Now, by doing that, again, what that does is it takes the side-to-side creep out of your trigger. Now, this is a very highly modified Glock 17, but I don't know if you guys can see that. There is a very, very tiny amount of wiggle and wobble in this trigger. I don't care how good of a firearm that you have. I don't care how well it's made. All guns are going to have even just a tiny, tiny amount of slop in the trigger. Okay, but you'll notice that if you pull the trigger with the pad of the finger, it actually creates inconsistencies in terms of how we pull the trigger. It can be a matter of I'm pulling the trigger and it causes it to go slightly this way or slightly this way, or maybe I get lucky and every so often it goes straight back to the rear. You never get a consistent trigger squeeze with simply using pad of the finger. It just won't happen. The way your gun is mechanically designed, and again, unless you have somebody who has hand fit your trigger and it can only function straight back and then reset in the same direction, all guns are going to have slop and play in them. They just are, okay? From the slop and play that's this, or from the side-to-side wiggle that even this expensive Glock with a very nice trigger in it is going to have. Now again, each gun is going to be a varying degree of slop and play, but it's going to happen, okay? So we all just need to be understanding of that fact. Now, go to the crease. It takes the side-to-side slop out of your pistol, okay? What does that allow you to do? That allows you to pull the trigger straight to the rear uninterrupted until you get a click, okay? Or if you have ammo in the gun, it'll go bang. What that will do for any of you shooters who say you have your elevation's good, but you're just a little bit to the left, or maybe you're just a little bit to the right, and I'm talking fractions, I'm talking like that much in either direction. If you sink more booger hook on the bang switch and go to that crease, and when I say go to the crease, again, if it's wrapping around, think of, anybody see that James Dean movie where he drove the car off the cliff? Well, guess what? Treat this crease as your car and treat the back face of your trigger as the cliff. Okay? If your finger's running along it, when it gets to a stopping point, the car will just roll off the cliff and it will naturally roll straight around into that crease. Okay? If you do this correctly and you trap the trigger, it will take side-to-side play out of your pistol, which then will result in those groups that are slightly to the left or slightly to the right. It'll tighten everything back up. Okay? And trust me, if you think I'm full of voodoo magic, give it a try, and if you do it right, you'll see those groups go really tight. Okay? But just like anything else, it is a new concept, so don't try to burn it down. Okay? Take your time, go to the crease, nice, smooth, uninterrupted trigger squeeze. If you do it right, the shot will be there. Okay? So again, this was a quick snippet on trapping the trigger using the crease of your finger to allow the gun to not move side to side. Slow, smooth trigger squeeze straight to the rear.